Of course, we know the Obama administration has acknowledged finally that those who were killed and hurt in the Fort Hod shootings back in 2009 were victims of terrorism, because today those victims are formally being recognized with Purple Hearts. But according to Fox News and Catherine Herridge, the reporter over there, it may only be symbolic. Fox News has learned that as part of its ongoing investigation of the terrorist attack, that the military, at least in one case, is still denying benefits for injuries sustained. Sean Manning, who was seriously injured, told Fox News, "I think it's almost unheard of for someone to receive a Purple Heart but not have their injuries deemed combat-related. I know that was not what Congress intended to have happen, but it's what the Army has determined is going to happen." This guy, then Staff Sergeant Manning, was shot 6 times by Nadel Hassan. 2 bullets are still in this guy's body, one in his leg, the other in his back. Well, the 2015 defense budget included language that meant Fort Hod victims were eligible for the Purple Heart honor because the attack was inspired by a foreign terrorist group and not workplace violence as the Defense Department initially labeled it. Manning submitted paperwork so the Army would recognize his injuries were sustained in the line of duty, as they were, but his appeal was rejected. A letter he received on April 6th says, Section 571 of the 2015 National Defense Authorization Act addresses both the awarding of the Purple Heart to service members killed or wounded in attacks inspired or motivated by foreign terrorist organizations and the Defense Freedom Medal for those members and civilians killed or wounded. Nowhere in the act, however, this letter says, his rejection letter, does it offer combat benefits for service members permanently disabled in attacks inspired or motivated by foreign terrorist organizations. So all this media coverage of the Purple Hearts these victims are being awarded, apparently that's just symbolic. According to this letter, this rejection letter that Sergeant Manning received on April the 6th, in being denied benefits, they're sticking to a narrow interpretation of the law, according to Catherine Herridge at Fox News. I mean, does this sacrifice mean anything or not that these people at Fort Hod went through and gave? The letter went on to state that Sergeant Manning's injuries were not caused by an instrumentality of war because Hassan's weapon was a private semi-automatic pistol. The Army did not issue this weapon to the soldier. Wow. So this government, this Defense Department, the Obama administration is patting itself on the back figuratively now, saying, well, we're giving these guys Purple Hearts today, but they're not paying benefits. You're going to make the argument that because the Army didn't issue Sergeant or Major Nadel Hassan his weapon, he had a personal gun, that this was not an act of terrorism and these soldiers weren't killed in the line of duty? What a disgrace. What a disgraceful way to treat the victims of Fort Hod.